Hey guys, it's Simmy, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Don't know why the intro played twice, but we're here. We're talking NXT Vengeance Day, and I really actually enjoyed myself through most of this show. Now, the women's tag match was so-so, but every other match on this show, I really dug. I thought this was a good show from start to finish, and I had a fun time with it. Like I said, I really enjoyed everything on the show. And I didn't hate the women's tag match. I mean, it was, it's two teams that they're still learning. The most experienced one in the match is Gigi Dolan, and she's still, 2018 when she started or so. So it's like, yeah, it wasn't bad, though. Like, it wasn't a bad match. I can say that. I could say that, in my opinion, there was no bad match tonight. I could say what match was the worst out of the bunch. But I didn't feel like there was a technically bad match on tonight's show, which is really good. Really good to say, because we haven't been able to say that for NXT 2.0. Not even at the New Year's Evil show. So, kudos, thumbs up to WWE and NXT for the show tonight. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWUnlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and at Twitter.com/PWUnlimited. Remember, if you are watching live, you can help us out on Twitch a couple of different ways. You can help us out by hitting that donate button down below, or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can subscribe to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, just like Cold Cuts KC recently did, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime if you're already paying old baby daddy Jeff Bezos for Prime Video or Prime shipping. Go over there, you take your Prime account, you take your Twitch account, you link them together, bada bing, bada boom, you're Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, stuff for games like Madden, Fall Guys, Grand Theft Auto Online, and so much more. But what it always gives you is one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to. I greatly appreciate it if you did that here. And remember, it doesn't just have to be your Twitch, your Amazon subscription. It can be anybody's Amazon subscription. Whether it's your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your auntie, your uncle, your grandma, your grandpa, your cousin, your, I don't know, mother-in-law, father-in-law. The lady that lives downstairs from you. If you're in an apartment building, you got a lady downstairs. Be like, yeah, Amazon Prime? She goes, oh, honey, yeah, what do you need? And she'll be like, you tell her, can I link it to my Twitch account so I can support a cool creator on Twitch? And she'll be like, baby, what do you need? I'll help you out, and let's do it. So, yeah, you never know. Ask someone for their Amazon Prime to sign up with your Twitch. And then, friends for life. Who knows? But on the flip side, if you're watching over on YouTube, you can help us out over there as well with a super chat or a super sticker donation. Remember, all super chats do get read live on the air. Plus, remember to hit that join button down below and become a channel member to support us here at Pro Wrestling Unlimited. As a channel member, you get early access to news, early access to podcast episodes, early access to non-news videos, and so much more. Plus, you can get all of that, but by more directly supporting us at patreon.com/PWUnlimited. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Whether you're going over there to get Sifu, which is amazing, and getting an easy mode if you've been deterred, whether you're trying to get Grand Theft Auto Online because for some reason you haven't got it for a while, whether you're trying to get Rainbow Six Extraction, you're going to be asked if you have a creator code. When you do, it's creator code PWUnlimited. You can even use it for claiming them free games, and you can also use it when you're on Fortnite, whether that's your PlayStation, your Switch, your Xbox, or your mobile device. It'll say you got a creator code. You do. Whoop! PWUnlimited. But with that, we've got NXT to talk about, and there's some news coming out of this show before they even went on the air. So, 205 Live, no longer a thing. Now, on Friday nights, we will be getting NXT Level Up. Let's pull up the graphic for that. So, where I had it, now I don't have it. Give me 1 second, guys. So WWE ran a commercial hyping up a new show tonight. NXT Level Up. This is the... Oh, nope. Whoops. Give me 1 second, guys. Why is the intro keep playing? What the heck? All kinds of technical difficulties. Here we go. Okay. Switch screens. There we go. So this is NXT Level Up. WWE trademarked the name last week, and it will be debuting this Friday in place of 205 Live. Now, with that, the announced team is Nigel McGuinness, and I'm not sure who the other guy is, because if we go here to Mr. Jacob Cohen on Twitter, I don't know who this guy is. But that's Nigel McGuinness. If you do know who this guy is, let me know in the comments below or the live chat. And then we also see this is the ring skirt and everything. We also do have the stage set up for NXT Level Up. But the most interesting thing is the ring announcer for NXT Level Up. Not Alicia Taylor. Excuse me. Not Alicia Taylor, but the former Quinn McKay. Former Quinn McKay of ROH will be doing the ring announcing for NXT Level Up. She will be going by the name Kelly Kincaid. And yeah, very, very interesting to see here. WWE has not officially announced that she is signed with the company. She has not officially announced she is signed with the company, but I was able to confirm she's no longer taking indie bookings. She's no longer working anywhere because of this. She was supposed to work for Journey Pro Wrestling out of Kansas City this Friday, and they stated to me, yeah, she's supposed to be on our show Friday, but because of this, she's no longer appearing. So kudos to Quinn McKay, now Kelly Kincaid, for getting signed by WWE and becoming the ring announcer for NXT Level Up. So, very, very cool. I don't know if she'll ever wrestle for WWE, maybe a Dasha Fuentes situation where she was a wrestler, wanted to be a wrestler. Then they said, oh, you're really good at interviews and announcing, so you're going to do that. And then she never wrestled for WWE. So, we'll see what happens with the now Kelly Kincaid, who will be the ring announcer for NXT Level Up. But we got a show to talk about. NXT. Why is that still on the screen? There we go. NXT Vengeance Day 2022. So the show opens up with Pete Dunne and Tony D'Angelo in a weaponized steel cage match. Also, hold on, give me 1 second. I just got a message I need to check. No. Let me respond to this really fast. No. Okay. Also, Jordan, your question. As far as I know, Candace did not have the baby yet. She's past her due date. Her and Johnny went to Disney World because they say, you want to try and get that baby out? Walk and walk and walk and do a lot of walking, and it could induce the labor. So I know the two went to Disneyland yesterday, or Disney World yesterday, and just walked around the whole park to try and get her to go into labor. But as far as I know, she hasn't given birth. But back to the show. Pete Dunne, Tony D'Angelo, weaponized steel cage match. This match went hard. Very hard. Pete Dunne was already standing in the cage as we kicked off the show. They then cut to the back where Tony D'Angelo was driven into the building. He had a driver and all that. And Vic Joseph says, "Is that car lifted?" Asking if he stole it. So Dunne attacked D'Angelo immediately after the bell and hit him with several weapons, including a steel chair that eventually broke. D'Angelo fought back and hit a Falcon Arrow at one point on top of a garbage can as things got off to a really fast start. Dunn went after D'Angelo's fingers early on in the match, attacking the hand and all sorts of different things. You know, that's the thing. D'Angelo goes for the mouth, and Dunn goes for the fingers. So Dunn slammed D'Angelo's hand in a toolbox. Then he wrapped them in a wrench and stomped on them. Dunn then tried to escape the cage, but D'Angelo hit him with a blast from a fire extinguisher and suplexed him off top rope, or superplexed him, I should say. After this, he tied Dunn's hands behind his back. D'Angelo actually managed to get some offense in here despite having his hands tied behind his back. He landed a headbutt and then locked on a head scissor on his opponent, D'Angelo. D'Angelo, though, slammed him out of the hold, but Dunn then hit a DDT and got a 2 off of it. D'Angelo went for a power bomb onto Dunn, onto a table, but Dunn wrapped him up with a guillotine choke. In order to get out of the move, D'Angelo grabbed pliers from the toolbox and cut Dunn's hands free. After this, D'Angelo went for his weapon of choice, the crowbar, but Dunn caught him with the power bomb through the table. After that, Dunn went for a weapon of his choice, cricket bat. He broke it over D'Angelo's back. It just smacked right in half, sounded really hard, loud, holy crap. Dunn then picked him up and delivered the bitter end. Only got a 2 off of it, and this is when we got the whole, oh man, big move kick out, but it worked. I think it worked really well. D'Angelo hit Dunn with a low blow, and then a fisherman buster for a 2. Dunn then grabbed the crowbar that was hidden by the ring apron and hit D'Angelo with it. He then hit the bitter end for a second time and picked up the victory. Again, I thought these two worked really, really well together. I really enjoyed this match and thought it was a great way to kick off the night. We cut to a video of Cora Jade, and she's being woken up with a phone call from Raquel Gonzalez. And she answers the phone, and she's like, yeah, what, huh? And apparently Raquel's outside her apartment or house or whatever it is. She's like, let's go. We got to start training. This tournament's brutal. She's like, now what? And so they go to the performance center. She's like, I didn't even know this place was open this early. And they start working out. And the whole thing is to show that Raquel is way more stronger than Cora Jade. They're doing all these workouts in the performance center. Then they go to a park and they do running and sit-ups and push-ups and all kinds of different things. And then it ends with Cora Jade's exhausted. And Raquel's like, you know what? You proved something to me today. That you've got, she says something like you've got it or something like that. She says something like you proved something to me today. But the Dusty Cup is 3 matches. And we need to do this every day. So tomorrow, we're doing the same thing. And Cora Jade's like, wait, all the same stuff again tomorrow? And Raquel's like, well, yeah. And Cora Jade just has this look on her face like, oh, I'm screwed. So I didn't like this. Yes, and Saturday they also showed her eating a Pop-Tart. And Raquel was like, what are you eating? Why are you eating right now? I didn't like this. I liked it for the comedy of Cora Jade when at the end when she was like, oh no, again, tomorrow? But again, I didn't like how it's like, okay, they show Raquel and she's lifting her weights, you know. She's got like her 15-pound dumbbells or whatever. And then they show Cora Jade and she's got her like 5-pound dumbbells. Wasn't the biggest fan of that. The whole, yeah, she's smaller and weaker. That I did not like. We got the Creed brothers and Malcolm Bivens. They got a promo backstage saying the only reason MSK won the Dusty Cup last year, well, because they weren't here yet. They weren't in the tournament. MSK cut a promo saying that they plan on winning back-to-back Dusty Cups. Last year, they were the new guys. No one knew what to expect. This year, they're the veterans, and people have been able to scout them. But they got the Shaman Riddle. He taught them the ways. So I'm like, okay, cool. They got the women's tag team title match. Toxic Attraction, Gigi Dolan and JC Jane defending against Indy Hartwell and Persia Pirotta. Again, not a bad match. I mean, it wasn't great or anything. It was definitely the bottom of the totem pole from the matches we got tonight. But I really don't have much bad, if really any bad, to say about it, which is good. Toxic Attraction attacked the challengers before the bell. Once things got back into the ring, Pirotta got her and Hartwell back into things pretty quickly. However, after giving Jane a fall-away slam, the heels did take over because Jane almost kind of no-sold the fall-away slam. Mandy Rose came down too and caused a distraction. After Indy had slipped to the outside, the ref caught Rose, tossing her back into the ring and ejected her from ringside as we went to a commercial break. Hartwell started to make a comeback right from the return. She then made the hot tag to Parada, who would take out both her opponents and eventually give them a double Samoan drop. With Hartwell and Dolan, the legal competitors now, Jane and Parada ended up brawling on the outside. Jane then tossed Parada into the steel steps, taking her out of the match. She then grabbed Hartwell's leg as she was going for a springboard elbow. Shortly after this, Toxic Attraction hit the high-low and picked up the victory. Toxic Attraction does retain the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. We cut to the back, where Wendy Chu was asking Dakota Kai to be her teammate in the Dusty Classic. Remember, the Dusty Women's Classic, or the Women's Dusty Rose Tag Team Classic starts next week. As this was happening, Dakota was talking to someone off screen that only she knew who it was. I don't know. I was confused here. She had some weird aviator goggles on, like old school, I'm going to fly an airplane goggles on. I don't know. She thinks she's Amelia Earhart. Also, the hair kind of threw me off because she was on Twitter or Twitch like 2 days ago with straight brown hair. So unless she can curl it any day or whatever, frizz it up, whatever it was, but it was pink again. So was this a new vignette or an old vignette filmed? Because again, she was on her Twitch the other day, and I'll pull it up. She had different hair, which really threw me off. Let's go. See if we can find this really fast. Yeah, we got it here. Pop this on just really quick to see. Because look, this was as of 4 days ago. Pause. Actually, let's keep it. Look at the hair. The hair's way different. It's like a brown with some highlights and straight. So I don't know if this was something filmed like weeks ago or a couple of weeks ago or last week, and then she changed her hair afterwards. But yeah, interesting that was her hair 4 days ago, and then they're back to the old hair on tonight's show. But each their own, whatever. It just threw me off a little bit, and I was a little confused there. When we cut to a video of Brooks Jensen and Josh Briggs, they were at a bar talking about their dates with Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter. Jensen's date with Caden didn't appear to go too great. She referred to him as a brother. There's been some other female from NXT working at the bar. She said it was her family bar or whatever. I don't know. And they asked her, hey, what do you think this means? Is it a good thing or a bad thing that she called me a friend and paid for her own meal? And she goes, you've been friend zoned, bud. And I go, really? 2 nights in a row, they do the friend zone thing. Last night with Reggie and Dana Brooke. Now tonight with Brooks Jensen and Caden. I don't know about that one. We get a segment with Grayson Waller and LA Knight. LA Knight came out to cut a promo, but was interrupted by Grayson Waller, who had 2 police officers with him. He showed footage of Knight attacking him last week and breaking the restraining order he had taken out on him. Then Knight played a video of Waller attacking him 2 weeks ago. Knight also pointed out that page 2 of the restraining order also said that if Waller said that Waller could not attack him. So in turn, Waller was also in violation of said restraining order. The police officers then just decided to leave. They're like, oh, well, you're in the wrong and you're in the wrong, and 2 wrongs cancel each other out, so screw it, we're leaving. Realizing, you know what? They're pro wrestlers. Sign up for this job, you know you're going to get hit, attacked, whatever. Screw you guys, and they just leave. And nothing else really happens other than Knight then attacks Waller and tosses him out of the ring before announcing that the 2 of them will face off next week. Kill. Cut to the back where Parada and Hartwell were consoling each other after their loss. They said, they would enter the Dusty Classic and get another title shot. Dexter Lumis then came in and he left with his wife, Indy Hartwell. Duke Hudson then came in and kind of schmoozed over Parada before they left together as well. Ciampa cut a promo in the back about people thinking that they are better than him because his accomplishments occurred in the, quote, farm system. Basically saying, everyone says that I haven't accomplished much yet because I'm in developmental. I'm in the farm system. I'm in the B tier division. He said that Dolph Ziggler thinks he's better than him, but he shouldn't mistake his loyalty to this brand for weakness. We then had Carmelo Hayes versus Carmelo Hayes with Trick Williams against Cameron Grimes with the NXT North America title on the line. And I will say this right here, match of the night. I love this match so much. These two worked phenomenally together. Magmalord says that was Fallon Henley. That's right. Fallon Henley, who is now with WWE, who worked a couple matches for AEW. That's right. Thank you, Magmalord. The girl being the bartender. Again, this match was freaking fantastic. If I had to say what the match of the night was, I would say this one. It started off with some back and forth grappling and slowed the pace down. Grimes then hit a big back body drop, but got distracted with Williams on the outside. This allowed Hayes to attack from behind and go on offense. Hayes hit a springboard leg drop on Grimes as he was draped in the ropes just before we go to commercial. During the picture-in-picture, Williams hit Grimes behind the referee's back. Commentary played up this interference, saying that, this stuff may start be going too far with Williams getting involved in Hayes' matches. Grimes began to make a comeback as we returned from the break. He hit a big side slam and got a 2 off of it. Hayes then hit a lung blower and a springboard clothesline for a 2. Grimes got the next near fall after a super kick. Williams tried to distract Grimes again, but Hayes went to attack him from behind, and the challenger sidestepped him and gave him a poison rana. Grimes then kicked Williams and delivered a flying crossbody to the champion for a 2. Grimes called for his double foot stomp, but Hayes rolled to the floor. Grimes followed and went to give him the move on the floor, but Williams pushed Hayes out of the way and ended up taking it himself. Bite the bullet for the champ. Hayes then tossed Grimes into the barricade. Once they got back into the ring, Hayes locked in a crossface. Grimes went for the ropes, and Williams pulled the bottom rope away from him. Grimes ended up countering the hold into a pinning combination and only got a 2 off of it, though. Shortly thereafter, Hayes whiplashed Grimes' neck first into the ropes and then hit the axe kick to pick up the victory. So, he stays the champion. But these two had a phenomenal match. I'm going to say it right now. So, seen a lot of people try to compare Carmelo Hayes to a young Shawn Michaels. I know Shawn Michaels absolutely adores Carmelo Hayes, but you know who else you can compare Carmelo Hayes to? Go back to 2005, 2006 maybe. A young MVP on SmackDown. Carmelo Hayes has the same charismatic charm, athleticism, and just ability to always have good matches, just like MVP did back in the day when he was the highest paid superstar ever on SmackDown and the U.S. champion. I get a lot of young MVP vibes from Carmelo Hayes. And not just because they're both African American, just because the way Carmelo Hayes, I guess you could say, what's the word I'm looking for? The way Carmelo Hayes just does things. He reminds me of, yes, he's got a lot of Shawn Michaels tendencies because of the way he reacts to things. But I also think the charisma he has and some of the things he does in the ring are akin of a young MVP from back in the day. So, this guy's great. This guy is phenomenal, and he's only going to get better. The former Christian Casanova, now Carmelo Hayes. And since I'm not saying that he looks like MVP. I'm saying that he's got the same it factor MVP had back then. MVP was slotted as never going to be bigger than the U.S. champion back then. But probably when he was on SmackDown, if you want to say there's like the A tier that goes for the world title and the B tier that goes for the US title back then, he was always at the top of that. Even when he wasn't the US champion, MVP was at the top of that. And Carmelo is going to be even better. Carmelo eventually will be A tier. So I love Carmelo Hayes. I can't speak highly enough about him. And Cameron Grimes here tonight, phenomenal as well. So in the back, Kaylee Ray was smashing stuff with the baseball bat and asked if Io Shirai wanted to do so as well. This then led to a montage of them breaking stuff with Zoe Stark injured. She just watched. She said Shirai needs a partner for the Dusty Cup. Chosen you. And Kaylee Ray's kind of just like, okay, I'll do it. Then we get the finals of the men's Dusty Cup. This match was great as well. Probably my second favorite match of the night. It was the Creed brothers of the Diamond Mine against MSK. The Creed brothers make their way out to the ring with Malcolm Bivens, and Bivens has got a John Cena never give up towel, and I go, what is this going to lead to? And he's like holding the never give up towel, and he goes, wait 1 second. And I'm like, no way, it's John Cena. They didn't get John Cena to come in for this. And then he turns the towel around and says, nah, you shouldn't. I died. When the front of the towel says, never give up, and then the back said, nah, you should. Not shouldn't, but should. Nah, you should. I died. I'm like, Malcolm Bivens is probably one of his ideas and was great. That was great. I loved it. Super funny. Also, we got D'Lo Wee in the live chat. He was there live at NXT tonight. If you got anything you want to add, bud, just let me know. But this match, again, I really enjoyed this match. I thought this was the second best match of the night. 2 banger matches in a row. So the two teams exchanged periods of offense early. Eventually, the Creed brothers gained the advantage and knocked both members of MSK to the outside before we went to the commercial break. When we came back from the break, Lee made the hot tag to Carter. He hit a snap German suplex on Brutus and a series of kicks on both brothers. He then hit a senton on Julius as Lee tagged in and delivered a diving corkscrew right after. MSK then kept up the attack with double team moves after this. The Creed brothers then turned things around. Brutus took Lee out with a push kick. Meanwhile, and this was like big old push kick, because like Lee came in flying, like running really fast, flying, kicked one of the Creed brothers. Then, I think it was Julius. Then Creed kicks him so hard that he like oversold it a little bit, but still it was cool. Really showed that like these Creed brothers got power, the way he sold this, because like he flew up in the air and flew right into the turnbuckle off this just push kick. Meanwhile, Julius attempted a top rope. Julius caught a tope attempt from Carter and gave him a spine buster on the floor. He rolled him back in the ring and gave him a huge old clothesline to pick up the victory. Like, huge ass clothesline. Almost better than a JBL clothesline. Almost. Creed brothers and Malcolm Bivens then celebrate with a Dusty Cup. Interesting that we didn't have the rest of Diamond Mine. Maybe they told Diamond Mine not to be out there for the match, but you would have thought Diamond Mine, Roderick Strong, and Ivy Nile would have came out at least afterwards to celebrate with them. Very interesting that they didn't. We got to a vignette of Nikita Lyons, the former, what was her rap name or her stage name as the performer, singer, or whatever. Faithy J, the former Faithy J, now going by the name Nikita Lyons. She just talked about how her dad was a musician and she used to get in fights at his concerts, and she told him, or he told her she needed to like calm down or something. I don't remember exactly. I didn't write everything down, but she says she will be making her debut next week on NXT. We then get an Imperium segment here where they said, we had Alicia Taylor doing the intro. She goes, currently in the ring, Imperium, Marcel Barthel, Fabian Eichner, and Gunther. He goes, hey, no, it's pronounced Gunther or Gunta. And everyone just kind of gets quiet, and then the crowd starts chanting, Walter, Walter, Walter. And I think it was Wade Barrett said something along the lines of, these fans here, they never want to listen, do they? They congratulated the Creed brothers on winning the Dusty Cup, but said that they wouldn't be ready to face Imperium for them titles. Gunther then said that he'll be watching the NXT Championship match tonight between Breakker and Santos with much interest. He was likely about to mention something about maybe wanting to challenge when out would come Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa said that on the island, you find the biggest and baddest guy and smack the taste out of his mouth. And that's what he's looking to do to prove who he is. He never did actually get into the ring, though. His music played, and then he left. Like, he walked down to the ring and then left. So it looks like eventually we'll get Gunther and Sikoa, but I don't know when. We got Dolph Ziggler there again tonight. Ziggler was interviewed in the back and spoke about Ciampa's promo from earlier in the night. Ziggler said that he plans on ending Ciampa's hopes of becoming NXT champion again by beating him next week on this very program. He also said that he'll be watching the NXT title match tonight between Breakker and Escobar, and as we learned, he was watching it a lot closer than we expected. So in the back, Pete Dunne congratulated Carmelo Hayes on still being North American champion, quote, for now, end quote. It looks like Dunne is planning on challenging for the title, so that leads me to believe that, yeah, they gave him a look on the main roster, but they ain't bringing him up yet. Saturday says it's pronounced Gunther. No, he said it's pronounced Gunta. He said it. He looks straight at Alicia Taylor and says, hey, it's pronounced Gunta. Not Gunther, Gunta. Oh, that's right, Chase Douglas. He said, are these people deaf? That's what it was. I think it was the last time that Walter said the name's Gunther and they chanted Walter. He said these people don't like to listen. That's what it was. It was the last promo they did. Thanks for correcting me there, Chase. We got some stuff announced for next week's show. Kicking off the Women's Dusty Classic. Got LA Knight versus Grayson Waller and Dolph Ziggler versus Tommaso Ciampa. Holy crap. I'm watching, like, sometimes I'll watch NXT live. Sometimes I'll catch it a little late. I'm watching that match live. Ciampa versus Ziggler, that match is gonna go hard. Then we got our main event, which went commercial free. And they did the thing with Braun Breaker again. Destroy the old NXT. Santos Escobar comes down to the ring, makes his entrance with Legado del Fantasma, and then we see last year's Vengeance Day logo. Breaker walks up, basically got a road flare, lights it, catches the goddamn logo from last year on fire, and there we go. Walks out, makes his entrance. They established Breaker as the much stronger wrestler earlier on in this match. He's got the strength, Escobar's got the speed. He knocked the challenger over with a shoulder block and also no-sold a shove attempt. Escobar got back into things with a drop kick. Breaker then regained the advantage shortly after with a big delayed vertical suplex. There was a lariat and a backbreaker that followed. Joaquin Wilde jumped up on the apron to try to cause a distraction. Escobar knocked Breaker off of the ring apron and landed a tope to the outside. This then led to Escobar going on a sustainable period of offense for actually a little while. After that long period of offense from Escobar, Breaker eventually made the comeback. He hit a flurry of punches and shoulder blocks to get the advantage back. Mendoza and Wilde then both got up on the apron, but Breaker took them both out. This then led to Elektra Lopez distracting the referee, Dolph Ziggler running out, and super kicking Braun Breaker. Escobar immediately went for the cover. 1, 2, kick out. Dolph starts going nuts at ringside. Ziggler then tried to get back into the ring, but Ciampa would prevent him from doing so as the two would brawl on the outside. Escobar then hit a tornado DDT, but missed a frog splash attempt. Breaker then hit just a stiff but hard and good-looking spear. Pulled down the straps of his singlet and gorilla pressed his opponent into a power slam before picking up the victory. So Braun Breaker retains the NXT Championship. Now, I don't know who's going to be next in line. Ziggler wants the shot. Ciampa wants the shot. Gunther wants the shot. We got 3 men that want to challenge for this title. And I would assume the next time we get the title on the line would be in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks at Stand and Deliver on April 2nd. I assume that's going to be the next time that we get this title on the line. They haven't announced any other USA Network sci-fi specials. Next week, they will be back on USA Network. And So I think we just take the next 6 weeks and build towards that Mania weekend show. That show that's reportedly supposed to be taking place in the middle of the day on the day one of WrestleMania in Dallas. They haven't announced where in Dallas, but Stand and Deliver March 2nd. Again, I don't know who's going to challenge for this title next. It could be Dolph, could be Ciampa, could be Gunther. All three men have staked their claim. I assume we get at least one step closer next week when we find out who's the better man between Ciampa and Ziggler. Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Breakker and Ciampa again because they're 1-1. But I kind of really want to see what Ziggler can do with Braun Breaker. I'm really intrigued. And honestly, if they're going to need to sell actual tickets for that takeover, that premium live event, whatever you want to call it, that Peacock special over Mania weekend, putting a Dolph Ziggler in the main event would actually not be a bad idea. So maybe they should go Ziggler, Breakker, NXT title, Stand and Deliver. Because that could help sell tickets, and I don't think it would help get more subscriptions for Peacock. But I think if they go into a maybe 5,000 seat building, little amphitheater or something in Dallas Fort Worth area, try and, for that show, I think having a Ziggler on that show would be smart because it's a main roster wrestler wrestling in the main event for the title. You can beat Ziggler. He'll be fine. It'll give a huge win to Braun Breaker for beating Dolph Ziggler, who's accomplished almost just about everything else you can in WWE. I mean, think about it. Ziggler's a former world champion. Yeah, never won the WWE or Universal titles that are current now. Former IC champion, former US champion, former tag team champion, won the Money in the Bank. All he's really got left is that stuff down there in NXT and the Royal Rumble. This is all Ziggler's really got left to do before he said, I've done it all. So I don't think he beats Breakker. I think it would be huge for Breakker to beat Ziggler, but I also think, and I'm repeating myself now, Breakker, Ziggler, Stand and Deliver main event over WrestleMania weekend. I think that's their best bet. I think that's really their best bet to, what's the word I'm looking for? Sell as many tickets as possible to whatever venue they're going to run in Dallas. Because this is going to be a big test for NXT 2.0 as they're going to be running for the first time outside of the Performance Center. D. Louise says, you believe you called the main event for Stand and Deliver? I think so. I think that should be the main event for Stand and Deliver. Ziggler, Breakker, main event. NXT title. I mean, you could do triple threat and add Ciampa in there as well, but I wouldn't. You could, and it wouldn't diminish the match at all. But I think you go Ciampa, or you go Breakker and Ziggler, one-on-one main event. But with that, guys, I want to say that's what I thought about tonight's NXT Vengeance Day event on the Sci-Fi Network. Remember, next week they will be back on USA Network. But you know what I thought? Now it's time to find out what you guys thought of tonight's show. So let's check out the polls. Remember, you can also text your thoughts into 510-906-1341. As far as the Twitter poll does go, 90%, nope, this was just updated on me, 81% liked tonight's show, and 18% thought it was just all right. As far as the Twitch poll does go, 75% liked the show, with 25% not liking the show. And finally, as we look at the YouTube poll here, 76% liked the show, 14% thought it was just all right, and 10% did not like tonight's NXT Vengeance Day. I keep wanting to say Stand and Deliver because they just said it about 8 times. NXT Vengeance Day. But if we go over and check the text messages, Jeff here in the live chat says they should keep Gunther and Solo for Stand and Deliver. I mean, they could, but I think unless you do like Solo Sikoa's got to go through Barthel, and then he's got to go through Eichner before he gets Gunther, they can do that. I think there is a way they can stretch it out 6 weeks, but that's going to be stretching it, to stretch it out that long. But they could. they could, and I think it would be a fun match. See, I don't know if I would put that on a takeover or a Peacock special. Because also, I don't think I would have Solo Sikoa going over against Gunther anyways. Because I don't want Solo Sikoa losing right now. I think they need to keep him strong because he's got a lot of potential, and he ain't beating no Gunther. I highly doubt he beats Gunther. So, I don't know. That's just a tough one. It says, I've noticed that Tommaso Ciampa, Pete Dunne, and Raquel Gonzalez all have been doing dark matches, but still are in NXT. Are they staying in NXT, or are they moving to the main roster? Honestly, I think maybe they're in a let's look at them now, and we'll make decisions after WrestleMania kind of mode. Because Dakota Kai's gotten a look recently in dark matches. Roderick Strong as well. So there's been a number of them. First says, this is from, okay, cool. This is from D'Lo Wee. Sent me a picture of him with Quinn McKay. I'm going to pull this picture up right here. I'm going to pull his picture up. If you don't mind me pulling the picture up, right, D'Lo Wee? Because this is a better shot of her confirming that's her. Even though it was already confirmed to me by Journey Pro Wrestling. But if you don't mind me pulling up the picture because you're in the picture, then I'm going to pull it up to show her. We'll get back to that after he gives me confirmation in the live chat. This person says, does tonight's episode of NXT Vengeance take out as a pay-per-view like last year, or is it a special episode? Special episode. Because it's not a Peacock special. It wasn't on Peacock. All right, he says he doesn't mind. So this is the best picture we've seen of Quinn McKay, or the new Kelly Kincaid. Right here. That's her. Like, you could tell it's her in the other picture, but this right here, that's her. Because a lot of people were like, wait, is that her? Is that her? It's her. And I also had it confirmed to me that it was her, and she's now with WWE. But thanks for sending that along, D'Lo Wee. I appreciate that. Just a couple more text messages here. This person says, who do you think is the next challenger for the NXT Championship and North American Championship? I already talked about the NXT, and it looks like Pete Dunne will be the next for the North American. Oh, no, thank you for sending it along, D'Lo Wee, because I'm actually going to post that one out when we're done here, because that's a better picture of her there than the one Mr. Jacob Cohen posted, and that's the only other one that I've seen. So I appreciate that. Person says, I liked NXT Vengeance Day tonight. Keep up the great work on PWUnlimited. Also, what's next for Cody Rhodes? Well, a lot of people think Cody's going to WWE, but I'm going to say, yes, I believe he's done with AEW for now. But him going to WWE, I'd say 90%. And finally, this person says, I think NXT 2.0 did good tonight. Do you think any WWE or any superstar WWE not using come to level up sometimes? Also, what next for NXT Women's Championship? Not sure what they're doing with Mandy in that title. That one, they did the Kaylee Ray thing last week, and they didn't even tease anything after or this week. So I have no clue. And level up is just going to be what we've been seeing for the last 4 months with 205 Live. Just more opportunities to get the developmental guys work. Matches on television or Peacock. But with that, guys, I do want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWUnlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and Twitter.com/PWUnlimited. Remember, we will be live tomorrow night for AEW Dynamite. Maybe doing a Jesse and Timmy show in the morning. Not sure. Follow us on Twitter in the community tab to know if we are going to be doing that show or not. We didn't do one last week, but we might. But I know I will be for sure live tomorrow following AEW Dynamite. So with that, guys, have a great rest of your Tuesday. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you next time. Also, Mr. Bangs, you and I are going to be doing some Fortnite later on tonight. Twitch.tv Timmy Buddy. Been some, there's like a significant update to Fortnite. So I thought we'd jump in and try some stuff out. They got some new gyro system with the aiming on controllers and stuff. So I'm like, ooh, yeah, cool. Want to check that out. Remus Picker says, is Roxy the NXT ring announcer? No, that's not Roxy. I'll pull this picture up one last time. That's not Roxy. That's Quinn McKay. That's the former Quinn McKay. She's now going by the name Kelly Kincaid. But with that, guys, have a great night, and I will see you next time. All right, guys, if you're still watching,